Welcome, my friend. How are you?
Good morning. How you doing?
Not bad. Good to see you again.
Yep, still here. I haven't moved since last week.
Okay, and you don't have a green screen behind you, and nor do I. I can guarantee that this is a real screen behind me.
Yes, but Mitch is already here. Good morning, Mitch. How you doing? Hope you're good.
Awesome.
Still recovering from the green screen from last week. Superman.
Yeah. That was awesome.
That's brilliant.
I'm certainly interested in getting one. But yeah. I'll wait a little bit longer until I get some more advice and do a little bit more research on it. But it's good to see you, my friend. We were supposed to have Captain Michael Smith, with us talking EVH and telling us a little bit about his story. Yeah, unfortunately, he can't join us. He's been called away on work commitments, and I suppose that's one of the interesting things when you're working with the railroads over in America, if there's an issue to be sorted. But he may join us next week, so he has an open invitation. So I look forward to catching up with him, Simon, in the near future. So we'll just keep the slot open. He can jump in anytime he wants. He may join us. He said he may do later on. So I said to him, we normally go for about an hour and a half anyway. So if he wants to jump on at any stage, we'll have him. But yeah, good to see you, my friend. Things are okay in the UK?
Well, things are getting a little hairy in the UK. We're about to go back to no more than 6 people.
Oh shit!
Socially distanced, getting together. Yeah, I mean, we've had 3,000 plus cases in the last few, every day for the last few days. It's getting a bit hairy right now. Basically what we're talking about is, this should be no surprise to anyone, we're talking about a second wave. They damp it all down and then it flares back up again. I mean, how are you doing? I mean, I've not paid attention to what you guys have been doing, because you had that kind of minor flare up, didn't it, when you had nothing for 102 days?
Yeah, we're on level 3, so they've limited social groups and all those kind of things. So look, we don't want to dwell on too much negativity, but I have been watching the news, and the UK and North America, our friends in North America, aren't faring too well. So I suppose the polite thing, Simon, is that our community is thinking about our friends over in these parts of the world. I certainly do give a thought and think about some of our North American and our English friends. So if it means anything, that's probably the best we can do.
Yeah, completely. And it's I just think that it's it's no surprise. We've had, as I said, where was it, 3,400 cases like yesterday.
Oh, we got a stranger.
Kubrick lover, how you doing?
Yeah, we've missed you, Kubrick, last couple of weeks.
Yeah, hope you're all right.
We have mentioned you, so if you do want to bore yourself silly and go back and watch some of the shows, you'll see there that Simon and I have mentioned your name in a couple of sentences. Great Vanzini, good to see you too, my friend.
How are you, Great Vanzini? The old fires, I mean, they're terrifying.
Yeah.
Are they around you, or have you managed to keep away from them?
Well, he's
and good morning, Arvin. And good morning, DT.
Yeah. How far is Oregon's above California? Is that correct?
It is. Yeah, but they've got fires in Oregon.
Oh, really?
Oh, shit. Yeah. They got bad fires in Oregon. Apparently, my brother was saying that weirdly some of them seem to be arson. They seem to be deliberately set.
Oh, you're fucking joking. Really?
No, but no, I'm not joking. Very strange. People
really?
are, yeah. It's Oregon and California, yeah.
Hey, Deja Verdict. Good to see you.
Good morning, Deja Vu. How you doing? He's in Australia, isn't he, Deja Vu?
Yeah.
So, yes, well away from the fires. Although they've had fires, haven't they? I don't know what happened with the Australian fires, but...
No, it's not their season yet. It's
not, no.
They're a couple of months away from their fire season.
See, they arrested a fellow in Southern Oregon for arson. They are. See?
Wow. Wow.
God, they got a fish camp where 1 million acres have been burned and tens of thousands of people forced to leave their home. Just terrifying.
What do you do, you know, to somebody like that?
You pray for rain. Well,
you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's just weird that, you know, that people will go out and light fire. I don't know. People are weird. Surprisingly, people are weird. I've made this morning's first truism, first cliche. People are weird. They are. Put it in your diaries. It's just, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the weather's like. Are you getting any rain or any respite, Great Martini? God, yes. I mean, I was thinking of you. I don't know where they are in. Only in America you could have somewhere called Clackamas County. What a fantastic name that is.
Yeah, well, I hope you guys all keep safe and do the best you can, because you know, these are weird, funny times. But hopefully you guys tuning into our show brings a little bit of a little bit of cheer, something to look forward to, because it's something that I personally enjoy doing, and I kind of hope Simon does too. And if you guys enjoy what Simon and I do with our guests, please share our channel. Great Vanzini, you're due to pop on too. You said that you were going to come back and join us for another show, so I haven't forgotten that. And our dear friend Arvin, you always have a open invitation anytime. And of course, Deja Voodoo, I wouldn't be doing myself any favors if I didn't mention that you guys all have an opportunity to join us. So just yell out. We'll have you. The money's no good. We can't pay you.
Honest debts no man can pay. Yes.
There's no money on this show, man.
There's no money on this show. Can't you? Yeah. All the money's on the screen. What? What's that then? Yeah, that's why there's no money.
There's no fame on this show.
all the where is it? This way. This way. See, there's all the money. There's all the money that behind Andrew. There it is. See there.
They're all on loan.
They're in pictures. They're cutouts.
Yeah.
Blown up with cutouts.
They're all guitars that I bought from friends. Sorry, that I borrowed from friends over the years that I have never returned, Simon. And, you know, needless to say, I'm not friends with those people again.
Anyway. Talking of that, I was watching Shane from In the Blues the other day, and he did a review of the Boss Wazacraft headphones. Right? Yeah. And he said a friend of his had lent him a pair, and they and he'd had them for about 2 months or so, and he hadn't done it. If I lent somebody a £400 worth of headphones, I'm going, could you give me the back so I can get on with using them? In the backlog of your videos.
Yeah, well,
that's funny.
Yeah, I suppose you got to be careful. You got to be careful of the friends you have, the friends that you loan things to, and the friends, and the friends that you borrow things off.
Yeah.
I had a friend who had a Les Paul, and he had a Fender Bassman amp, another friend, but neither of them loaned me their amp or their guitar. After, I asked them numerous times.
But no chance.
No chance. No chance. Can I just borrow your Les Paul for a week?
No.
No. Please. No.
Please, pretty please.
Speaking of Les Pauls,
can you still buy a basement? By the way,
yeah.
This was still make a basement.
Yeah, this was a reissue that came out about 8 years ago, and they were about $5.5 grand here. They were a limited edition run, and they were probably $6 grand.
Good morning, Susie Cherry. Friend is called Simon. Hi,
Susie.
Yeah, no, I just wonder, because like one of the things people talk a lot about Fender bass. Do they still make them? It appears they do. A mere £2,000 of your English pounds from Toman, apparently, which is quite a lot.
So, one of the things I wanted to talk about last week, and we didn't get a chance to because we were held captive by the humour and the presence of our very good friend Mitch Heyman.
Mitch, yeah.
I watched a video a couple of weeks ago by another friend of the channel, Ramon from the Guitar Show.
Yes.
And he's been on a couple of times, certainly once, and he's due to probably come back on again with us, Simon. We should get an invite out to him and just have a chat to him and see how things are going. But on his channel, he mentioned a couple of things that you can do to Les Paul guitars to make an effect on the tone and the playability of a guitar. And so I took him up. I took him up on his kind offer. So here's my Les Paul here. I'm going to present myself if you guys just give me a second.
Present yourself.
And I'll just get rid of that comment. Okay, so if you guys can see here, I don't know if that's clear enough, but you can see there that I've top wrapped those strings.
Yeah, we can see that, yeah.
Over that bridge there. So what I've done is I've done what he said. I've lowered that bridge to compensate for the angle, and instead of having the strings go this way, they come across the top of my guitar. And I have to tell you what, Simon, if you guys haven't tried that, give it a go, because the playability, it's a lot more smoother.
Right.
The way that I can bend, and the tonal difference, it's a lot warmer. It's not as sharp as it was on the previous standard setting. So has anyone in the chat
made an audible difference? Yeah,
big time.
Yeah.
Big time. So I know that Great Vanzini has a huge collection of guitars. Is that something, Great Vanzini, that you've done over the years? Have you noticed any difference with top wrapping your guitars? And indeed, probably Arvin. What about yourself, Simon? Is that something that you've done with your guitars?
No, I mean I've got my gold Chapman, which is the one I would do it on.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it on my telly nor on my Strats, and I don't think on my black one either. Not as far as I would know. So it would only be the Chapman doesn't have two. Does it have a bridge? I can't remember.
Yeah. It's got to have a whatever that bridge is for it to have a top wrap. You're not going to get that on a Strat, because your Strat goes through the body, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I'm quite a fan of having it all. Let me see. I don't think it does. I don't. Oh, my ML2, the strings go through the body. They come through the body and then they go over the bridge. So no, I couldn't top wrap it. I suppose I could. I suppose I could go down through the body and then up over the end. They might not be long enough though.
And you can
What?
see that I've done the same thing to my Epiphone ES as well. I've top wrapped that, and
Deja Voodoo says top wrapping allows that slinky feel, but yes, less snap in attack.
Yeah. So obviously Deja Voodoo's done that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's exactly I couldn't have described it better myself. Snap and attack. That's exactly it.
Greg Lanzini heard of it a long time ago, but didn't until YouTube. Never really understood it. Have you done one on your guitars? Any of your guitars, Greg Lanzini? Have you set up any of your guitars like that?
I reckon if you haven't, Great Vanzini, do it. Grab one and do it. I think you'll be amazed with the playability and the difference. Yeah, I in fact, I'd be keen to hear what you think about it.
Yeah. So yes, I can't do it on my Chapman because I don't have. There's very nice chrome little holes that come up through the body, so it's no top wrapping for me. But then
and Susie can't with her 27 Fenders either.
Are you a Fender person, Susie? Like me, I'm a Fender. I've decided I'm a Fender person. I have 2 Stratocasters and sort of my Chapman Super Strat, still a Strat, and a Telecaster. That's 3 proper Fenders and a nearly Fender, and only one Gibson type.
So Deja Voodoo, his Heritage Red Les Paul is currently top wrapped. A little extra corrosion. Though. But worth it. Okay. Simon, I'm a Strat man too. I'm a Strat man too. Yeah.
Yeah, because EVH is like a Strat, isn't it? And then you've got the Strat, and yeah. There we are. Let's see.
Yeah. I'm as much as I love my Les Paul, just you can't beat a Strat. Sorry.
See, you've got a black one. So you've got a black Strat with a maple fretboard.
Yep.
Has everyone got a black Strat with a maple fretboard? Eventually, that's what you have to have.
I think if you're a Clapton nut, you got to, don't you?
Yeah. I haven't put Clapton pickups in mine. The pickups sound really good in mine. Actually, the black one. I'm really like them.
Uh-oh.
Oh, look, Sonia's bought an Epiphone Tony Iommi. Wow, Sonia, that's cool.
You're gonna have to show us that.
Yeah, Sonia, you're gonna have to come on and show. Yeah, we're all keen to look at new guitars, especially in close up.
Hey, Mickey, good to see you, Mickey.
Oh, look, Great Vanzini's got no Les Pauls. He's got he wonders his Flying V. He's got his Whizzy Flying V that he nearly sold for practically nothing a few years ago. And decided nobody would buy it, so he kept it. And now it's worth more than he paid for it, I think.
All those guitars, and he doesn't have a Les Paul type guitar. Wow.
Well, a Flying V is a Les Paul type guitar, isn't it? Yeah. I'm claiming. There's an argument just waiting to be shot down in flames, isn't it? Well, that kind of, I know it's got a Carina body, but that kind of twin humbucker thing, I think of as Les Paul type.
Yeah. So, for all you guys in the chat that's arrived a little bit late, Simon and I, we were all geared up to have Captain Michael Smith join us, and we got a message from him a couple of hours ago saying that he couldn't join us because he's been called away from work. So Simon was kindly going to introduce his album in the British Blues album series, but I kind of said to him, well, let's just waffle on and save that for a proper show, because Captain Smith might join us. In fact, if there's anybody in the chat that wants to jump on now with Simon and I, Great Vanzini, Susie, Mickey, you guys want to join us? What do you got there?
That's my Chapman. You see, because you can see the hole through the come up through the. It's not a great picture, but come then over the bridge.
There ain't no top wrap in there. There ain't no top wrap in there.
Got the old Peter Green mod though, just in case.
I got the out of phase tone though.
Got that out of phase tone, yeah, absolutely. It's funny because Rob Chapman is a big fan of Peter Green's. Peter Green is one of his his favourite guitar players, one of his influences. I don't know if it necessarily shows, but yeah, Peter Green is one of his great heroes. That's why he made it with the Peter Green mod. I
think it's always good, always a good thing to have an Englishman.
It's always good to have a mod, isn't it?
An Englishman paying respect and giving credit to fellow English guitarists, because that gives him some credibility in my eyes. He knows, that legacy of British rock music, and Fleetwood Mac and Peter Green are certainly part of that foundation, aren't they?
Central to it, absolutely central, and a man who took the blues to other places, but still had the blues in every fibre of his body. One feels, everything he played, may not have been a classic 12-bar thing, but, when he plays Man of the World, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful, beautiful melody. And Mickey Settlemeyer's never done it. I'm not quite sure what you're alluding to, Mickey, but there's still time. For a bit of, time for a bit of top rapping.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he's talking about. Top rapping or bottom rapping. This is a family show, Simon. It's a family show.
I promise I'm not misbehaving. I know.
I read your facial expressions.
Just checking. I should go no further than that. I don't know where the light is.
Huh? What does this mean?
Actually, I've got something to show. I bought a little toy this week. Hold on a sec. I'm going to get it. Hold on.
Right. I love toys. Okay, so while Simon's getting his toys, again, please feel free to message me if anybody in the chat wants to jump on and waste an hour and a half talking with Simon and I live. You're more than welcome. We have an open invitation for each and every one of you. And thanks for jumping on and supporting Simon and I. We appreciate it. Thank you. So what do you got there, mate? He's going to show it. Ta-da! He's got his earphones on.
See, here's mine. My maple strap with the black strap with the maple fretboard.
Awesome.
Yes. Every home should have a maple strap. And this is what I bought this week. I've forgotten about it, man. That's what I bought this week. Here we are.
Oh, wow.
It's a... see if you can guess what it is.
The Hangover.
It's called the Hangover. The Landlord Hangover, it's called.
Is that a delay?
It is not a delay.
It's not a delay. So what's a hangover then? It's not a delay. It's not a fuzz. Is it fuzzy?
No, it's not fuzz.
Where? What does it say?
Above the big knob.
Above the big knob. Above the big...
Hey, of course, above the big knob.
Bring it closer. Bring it closer. I can't see it. Oh, it's a reverb in script. It's reverb in script, Simon.
Reverb in script. Yeah.
No wonder I can't read it.
Yes, these are cool. Well, because my my orange amp, my new orange amp, anybody who lives in the UK, the place I bought it from in Brighton, GAC, is doing another one for £200 off retail
really?
price. Yeah, it was on Reverb yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, 680 quid as opposed to 880 quid, so £200 off.
What's it like? Is it lush? Is it lush? Is it reverby? Is it?
Oh god, yes, it's got to. Well, it's very simple. It was only £40. I just wanted some reverb on my Orange amp because it doesn't have reverb built in. My PV Delta Blues has reverb built in. So I thought I'll just get a little reverb pedal. It's fine. Just stick it on the top. Put it on between things. Works beautifully.
What's that like in stereo mode?
It does enhance the stereo quite a lot.
Wow.
Funny up even more way. I was playing it yesterday.
Wow.
You turn it up. It's yeah, great Benzine. I agree. I didn't. Normally if I'm just mucking about, I have the amp sort of plugged in. I just plug my guitar straight into it. I just wanted a bit of reverb. So I've got room, plate, and spring, and you've got a mix, reverb and tone. So it's fine. Yeah. As I said, I didn't want anything very complicated. I didn't need a Strymon timeline or something like that. It's a bit crazy, but what I'm amazed about is that the reverb on my PV is what I'm used to.
Yeah.
And I have it on about half, and that's still quite subtle. It's not kind of there is. Look, I don't know if you can see that. This is the amount of reverb knob. I've got it set at on a quarter, so it's like whatever it is. Also, there you are. That one there.
So you got it set at what? At 10 o'clock?
That one there. Yeah, and I set it at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Which is barely on. And
holy shit.
And it's like, whoa, that's a lot. So, I set it on 12 o'clock. I set it on about half, and it's like, blimey, and it's like with this huge hall with this kind of like massive rig going on.
Well, what were the reviews like, Simon? Did you check out any reviews before you bought it?
Some reviews. Yeah, I checked out some reviews and checked out some bits and bobs. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I did know I was getting. But yes, that was the one thing that I didn't really realise how much you could have if you wanted to. But it's great. I mean, it's great. It sounds really good, and as I said, I just had to dial it right back.
So I'm interested in the reviews that you read or heard. Were they true to what the product was after you got it? Would you say that the reviews or the videos that you saw were spot on?
Oh, yeah. I think they were spot on. I think what they didn't, as I say, the thing they didn't take into account, and I think, and this is because where I'm coming from at it, it's not an issue with the, is that, of course, my PV Delta Blues is 25 years old and has, as I say, has quite subtle reverb. If you turn it on to 3, you're not getting very much. I turn it up to 5 or 6, and you get still quite a subtle amount of reverb. I don't think that's a good idea, Dave. We don't be straying into Mancuta territory, do we? But no, it really wasn't that. It was banging hangover. It wasn't. It was like how much you could have if you wanted to.
Wow.
It's like that's what kind of that I hadn't sort of figured out, and of course. And how much reverb people actually like. I was like, blimey, that's a lot.
So let me ask you this question then. So obviously that's got more reverb than you'll ever need. So that's interesting because it could be worse. You could have had a reverb pedal that you would have cranked it up and there would have been no reverb, Simon.
Oh, absolutely, and I completely understand where manufacturers are coming from. It's like you could turn it up and have massive amounts of reverb if you want, but actually I don't. I don't want a huge amount. I just want it to be reasonably subtle, just to give it a bit of a bit of in the room sort of thing. But not kind of like that shimmery. Yeah, you could turn it up so you can have this great shimmering kind of. Sounds amazing. I mean, it's amazing as an effect, that you could use once or twice. But I only wanted it as a subtle thing. But as I say, I mean, it's great. It's really well made. I mean, it's solid metal case. You drop that on your foot, you know about it. and it works really well. I'm very happy with it. As I say, it just has lots. Yes, Susie, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody knows what Mankuta territory is. I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure everybody knows. But at the end of the day, Simon, I think one of the great things though about buying product or gear, like a lot of us, we jump on YouTube. We've got a lot of this information now. We go and see some of the channels that we take on board seriously for advice. And you know, I'm always interested when somebody I know buys gear, and if it is true to some of the reviews that we've seen, because you know, we have to be a little bit skeptical too on some of these channels, because some of the products that they're pushing, they're paid to push, and that's fair enough. And they probably don't tell you that they're paid to push it. What I really appreciate though are the channels though, Simon, that say that, look, I bought this myself and I'm not endorsed by the company, but this is a great product, you know.
Yeah. This is, you know, this is what it does, and this is how it works. And you know, I completely concur with that. I think, you know, that you know, I trust people like Phil McKnight and Shane from In the Blues, you know, because you know that they're, you know, that they, I mean, Phil will tell you clearly if he's being sponsored to do something or something, you know, and that's fine, you know. And I agree with you that's important. I think the interesting from my point of view is that because I'm not particularly a gearhead, so I haven't bought lots of one reverb to rule them all. Yeah, I don't know. The Strymon timeline is one reverb to rule them all, isn't it? That is the one, isn't it? The Strymon timeline. That's their kind of massive reverb. I'm going to have a look, but I think that what's interesting from my point of view, as I say, because I'm not a gearhead, I don't buy that much kit. I've pretty much got everything I've ever bought. I don't think I've ever sold anything. Got my old, you know, Marshall Bluesbreaker pedal and stuff like that, and all those things. But that what you don't take into account is that. So my only real experience of reverb, as a, you know, within an amp, is on my Delta Blues. So, you know, the width of it is sort of that. You know, so I turn it up to half, and I get to here, and I get quite a subtle effect, and I get a massive effect. What I forget is that 25 years on, pedals have, you know, improved in leaps and bounds. You know, what they do, you know, what you can get in a small, you know, 2.5 inch, you know, was it 2.5 inch by an inch case like that, is a, you know, is what you can do with the miniaturization of everything, is that it do so much more. You know, it will do so much more than, you know, than pedals were 25 years ago, and I just haven't caught up. So in a sense, I get this, and I plug it in, I put it on 12, you know, and I go, whoa, that's a lot. But of course, if you're doing pedals every day, or every week, every month, you know, you've had a lot of pedals, you're just used to where pedals are now. Yeah, so you don't remark on the basic thing of, you know, well, look, you know, a subtle reverb is only about here, 9 o'clock rather, on the dial, and you know, and if you're going to turn it up to 12, that's really quite a lot. I mean, I wouldn't expect to get that out of a review simply because they're not going to come down to that level, because they don't think it's worthy of note, because they're not me and stupid and never bought one in their life before.
I think also too, one of the great things about some of these delays and reverbs and effect pedals that are coming through now, it's due to the technology that we've got in a lot of the digital amp devices on the market, Simon.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah.
you know, like for example here, you know, so on my Yamaha THR 30, you can see here that on the reverb, if I turn the reverb setting on, it's got a hall reverb, it's got a plate reverb, a spring reverb, a room reverb. But the differences between the four settings, the four effects, or four, whatever you call them. What do you call these things? Four bases?
I call them settings. 4 bases, 4 settings.
It's remarkable. So that technology that they've got and the digital effects have gone through to the pedals now, so that you can afford now to have a pedal, Simon, that's got reverb to spare, which I don't think pedals initially had. I bought a Hall of Fame pedal, Simon, about a year ago when I first got my bass break, because that didn't have a reverb on it. Bought it second hand. What a rubbish pedal! I got rid of it. It was horrible.
Really, what was horrible about it?
It was the reverb wasn't lush. It was it felt like an ice pick. It was icy. It was an icy. Wasn't a lush, warm reverb. And the Hall of Fame. I didn't realise this, but
the TC Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I went and did some research after that, more research, and actually, there's a lot of people out there that don't give those pedals a lot of stars in their ratings, which is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know that. Is that the one where you can get tone prints for it and stuff?
Yeah.
See, I'm automatically like, that's too much. I don't need that. All I want is a little. I want some echo. I want some reverb. And kind of. And having between room, plate, and spring, I currently got it set on plate, and a little bit just to give it a bit of depth and a bit of ambience. That's fine, and I'm happy with that. And I didn't want something like I looked at the TC one, and you go, I'm not getting into tone prints. That means computers, and it means blah 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 blah. No, I'm not going to get too many. It does have a tone control. I can get this. Yeah, one of these little ones up here. See that one there says tone on it, and the other one says mix. The other one says reverb. So it's yeah. I mean, and it's fine. It does, it does it.
So Great Venzini is saying that the Hall of Fame's okay too. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, not my favourite pedal. Wasn't. Yeah, I got rid of it. To be fair,
passed it along. Yeah, I had a look at it. As I said, I wanted something that. This is not to go out gigging live in it necessarily, but I just wanted something you could just set up and just plug between. I've got a little patch cable between the guitar and the pedal just sits on top of the amp, and I just plug my guitar in it. It just gives it. I just wanted to give it a little bit of that depth and stuff like that. So I wasn't going to spend a lot of money on it. This is only £40, so it's really good. Yeah, I'm impressed by the quality of the reverbs. They're different, and you can mix them in. You can do what you want, and I'm impressed by the build of it as a thing. It's It does a lot. Even this does a lot more than I thought it was going to do. Actually, it does a lot more than I thought it was going to do.
So was John Mancuda on Sandra's show, Cherry?
He was. He was on Sandra Picorni's show last night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go and check it out. I'll go and check it out. I missed that.
I'll be checking that out. Yeah.
And I missed Mitch's live feed. I was 2 hours behind. Mitch was doing a green screen show for an hour and a half yesterday. That would have been nice to catch that. So I'll flick through that, Mitch, later on, if that's okay.
He was.
Cool.
Somebody asked, was it... Sonia asked, what does everyone here think about the Digitech Trio with drum and bass?
Don't know anything about it.
I don't know anything about it at all. I'm a sorry, I'm a bit of a tech luddite, you know, for as you will know. But I'll show you a picture of it. It looks quite a cool thing, I have to say. But, there we go. Look at that. It's got a looper, bass and drums.
Wow.
You can have various tempos, genres. So you can have Latin, jazz, folk, country, hip hop, metal, rock, R&B.
So it's a looper, is it?
It's a loop, kind of loop pedal with a drum machine built in. I think drum and bass built in. Simple bass, yeah. So it looks.
So Sonia thinking of buying that, is she?
I don't know. She asked what. Let's have a look. It's. I don't know, Sonia. Are you thinking of getting it as a? Whoa. Yeah. It's, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know whether some. I mean, I've yes, it's quite technological for me. That is. This is from a man who works in IT, by the way. So, but I don't know. Gets 5 stars from Anderton. So I don't know how many people reviewed it, but 26 people reviewed it. We got 26 excellents by the look of it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm a little bit like you too, Simon. I'm a bit of a Luddite. I remember a few years ago I brought the Jam Man Solo, my first looper, and got a lot of rave reviews, but jeepers, it just took hours to set and control, and it took an SD card, and in the end I gave up and just went back to the music shop and said to the guy, I need a looper, and it was either that, a ditto looper, or this one here. And in the end, I got this one here because it had a bigger, it had a bigger pedal as opposed to the ditto, which had like the little standard little nipple foot switch.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason, Simon, why I took this one. Yeah.
No, completely. It's the old adage, isn't it? If you want to buy something that will work and is safe and will be fine, you buy Boss, and will last forever. You buy a Boss thing, don't you?
I've never had problems with Boss.
Never let you down.
No, I've never had problems. I've got a Boss tuner. I've got Boss pedals. I've got. I've even got. Are these Boss? Are these katanas? They're Boss, aren't they? That's Boss.
Katanas, yeah, that's Boss.
Yeah.
Well, as you know, I've got my old Boss GT3, and I've got a dual drive Boss thing and digital delay and cord. Yeah,
my cordless is all Boss.
Yeah, see,
you pay a little bit more for it though, but again,
no
complaints.
But Boss pedals though they're very competitively priced, aren't they? I don't know what they are these days, but
here in New Zealand, they're not a cheap pedal, Simon. They're they are a benchmark, and above. They're not a cheap pedal here.
I don't know. I'm just always going to look. I'm just interested to see. I don't know. So let's have a look at stomp boxes. There we are. Compare. I don't know if it gives a. I need to go and look somewhere else. I'm just saying because I think of Boss as being, competitively priced. Boss pedals at Anderton, so I'll do. Competitively priced pedals and kind of do exactly do what they say on the tin. No messing about. Let's have a look. Boss katanas.
Johnny's live streams are loopers and delayed drenched guitar playing.
Really?
He loves
Johnny A. I don't know Johnny A. Does he? Does one?
Certainly Johnny Bean when he does his live playing.
Johnny Bean.
I think is it Johnny Bean? I think that's.
I don't know. When he says Johnny A, I don't know whether Johnny A is somebody else.
But yeah, no, you're right, Deja Vu, Simple Minds. I think all of us are similar. Yeah, yeah. Look. In the end, guys, I had a big pedal board too. I had lots of pedals. I got rid of them over the last year and a half, 2 years, certainly since I got my Oxbox, because that has a lot of effects in it. But I think Deja Voodoo made a comment earlier. You know, he likes that Clapton thing of just plug in and play. I'm kind of trying to go to that route myself. You know, my guitar, maybe a reverb, because my Blues Breaker doesn't have a reverb, and I'm like Simon. I'm going to be on the market for a
I'll give
reverb
it a
pedal
reverb.
when
Yeah, yeah.
when we start gigging again, when things are getting all cleared, where we can get together and start doing things like this. But I'm probably just going to have a reverb, Simon, maybe a bit of delay. That's what I like in my amp, and that's it. That's it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I spend a lot of time playing just directly into my amp. You know, most of my playing is done
Yeah.
not playing with my effects and stuff like that. You know,
Yep.
effects are for gigs and you know, and practice if we're setting up properly. I don't. I tend not to. Yeah, as I say, tend not to spend a lot of time with it all set up, kind of thing. What with pedal boards and stuff, I do occasionally, but as I say, I just with the orange, just plug straight into the orange. Sounds great, as I say. But I just wanted to really to check, you know, myself. Just wanted to
See a chorus.
that.
That's another interesting pedal too. Yeah.
Mm,
I had an Ibanez chorus. I sold it. I kicked myself. I should have kept it. Ah.
so you get an SD, you get an overdrive, you get an SD1, for instance, or a
Yep.
blues driver. See
Yep.
here, a blues driver. Anderton's got a blues driver, just the ordinary one, not the Wazacraft one, but it's 75 quid.
Wow.
Well, you know, to me, a boss blues driver, you know, BD2. That's, you know, that's a bargain. You know, can't go wrong with that. You
No.
know, a boss, you know, a super overdrive pedal. It's £55. I mean, you know, get a Wazacraft one for 129.
How many of those pedals have been put into cheap, clean amps over the years to get a rock and roll metal tone, Simon, overdrive, cranked up?
Yeah,
Boy.
get a metal zone for 95 quid.
Yeah.
Who could possibly go wrong? But you know, so I think yes, that's right. I mean, I am right in that here. I mean, you know, those are they're kind of one-trick ponies, but you know, they're £100, which I think is a pretty good price for a pedal actually these days. You know, that's in the cheaper end of the market. I feel very much. You know,
Sonia's got a
you know,
GT1, so I'm not familiar with them at all. I've got
a GT1 must be the predecessor to mine, Sonia, is
yeah,
it? I've got a GT. I've got. I say this not true. I've got a GT3, the upgrade. I'm not. Yeah, GT1 actually probably the GT1 is more modern than, but yeah, it's basically it's a multi effects pedal. Let's have a look. See, yeah, it's kind of Actually, it's more modern than mine. I'm being cheeky. It's £159. You see,
wow.
you get a Boss GT multi effects pedal for £159. I think that's pretty good value. I'll show you. I'll show you a picture of it, so you get an idea about what it looks like. You know, see, that's what it looks like.
Oh, okay.
Can't see my own screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, which you know, it'll have all the same technologies as probably but yeah, it looks pretty cool.
How long have you had
Yeah.
that for, Sonia? GT100. Okay. All right, that's interesting.
Yeah, no, they are. And I think you've got you've got FX drives, preamps, FX2 delay, reverb. Yeah, it's pretty relatively simple, but I don't know how many. I don't know. Let's see if I can. But I mean that is very similar to my to my GT3, which I find great.
So Sonia's had it for 3+ years, so that's good.
Yeah.
So obviously she rates it.
Yeah.
Still got it. Still got it. Still uses it.
Seems like a bit of a sale on it. It's £159, Sonia. Yeah. But looks like a for a kind of home use kind of thing, or probably small gigging. You get away with that. You use it, no problems at all. And for me, that's the beauty of Boss. Is ain't going to let you down. Might not be. You might be able to get individually better sounds, but you'd have to spend more money. You can get better. You can get a Strymon whatever, but they're £450, kind of thing. They're lots of money.
Or an Eventide,
Yeah, that's right. How much is an Eventide?
Well, here in New Zealand, they're $1,000, but I'll show you something here that I got. If you just give me a second, I'll crank it.
Is it the H9? Is it the H9? Harmonizer. Yeah, so the Eventide harmonizer here is £429 at Anderton's. Well, hey. And apparently, according to no less a person than Mr. Friedman, it's quite difficult to program up. But yeah, I mean, Mitch uses his was it not Helix, the other one, to kind of do it. It's
1, 2, 3. Testing.
I can still hear you. Can you not hear yourself?
I can't hear you, Simon.
Can you?
Can you hear me, Simon?
I can. Yeah, I can.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
I can. Can you not hear me? Can the guys in the chat hear me? Yes, he has got a Helix.
We had a little issue like this last week too. So I'll mute your mic.
Can you still hear me in the chat? As I muted my mic. Oh, had I muted myself? It's quite possible. Waving my. Yeah, the one thing I haven't done is I've never tried. Oh, they can still hear. They can still hear both of us. Just you can't hear me.
I can't hear Simon.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing.
You can hear both of us. Can that's interesting. So what do I do? I can't. Do you want to jump out, Simon, and jump back in? I was going to
say I'll jump out and jump back in again. Yeah.
Let's try that.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys can hear me. Bloody technology, eh? So let's hope Simon, when he jumps in, I can hear you. I can hear you in Canada. Very good. Okay. Let's see what Simon. Let's see when Simon comes back. Simon is back in. Add to the stream. Simon, can you hear me?
Can you hear? Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, fantastic. I don't know what happened there.
It's just I think it's just it'll be a StreamYard's glitch. It's what's funny is it tend to often affects the sound as much as the video, doesn't it? You'd expect the sound to be fairly on it, and the video might go a bit wonky. But
I've been watching a few. I've been watching a few channels lately and live streams and guys with obviously good technology, good gear, experiencing the same thing. So, but there are some issues too. I noticed when I logged the show on through StreamYard, Simon, this big banner came up saying that there's technical issues with StreamYard, saying that they can't stream through Facebook at the moment. So there's that was a big one. So we're not going on our Facebook page.
We're not doing that anyway, so that's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I think these guys are updating and changing stuff and
God,
algorithms
yeah.
and all that all the time, aren't they? So
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
thank you, Sonia.
That's all right.
Thank you for hearing us both. That's fantastic.
So yeah, I don't know if I was saying before we that the Eventide H9 harmonizer is £429 at Anderton's.
Yeah. So I
And I'm
bought.
sure.
I, I, I bought
Did
the
you buy the H9?
no. I bought the plug-in because I do all my recording through
Oh, because
Reaper.
yeah, yeah.
So I brought the Eventide, what they call the pitch factor, and
Mm-hmm.
that cost about $100 New Zealand. But my gosh, the yeah, I can get
So
some.
is it the harmonizer in a box? Is it the H9 in a sort of
Yeah,
socket? Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
because I'm such a balance, for unlawful carnal knowledge Van Halen fan, that's what you need if you're chasing those tones. But I'm not going to pay $1,000, Simon, for the pedal. The pedal's just ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah, and I know that Dave Friedman has said that that it's it's really complicated to program up as well. It's not simple to deal with. There's a sorry about this. It has something called a hot knob. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, funny is
Wow.
Great Vanzini. Yeah, I noticed that I don't know if earlier on um, that Shane and Dr. Rick were on, Shane from In the Blues, and they were playing. They do a bit of playing together and stuff, and Dr. Rick sounded like he was underwater. Shane was fine, but Dr. Rick sounded like he was underwater.
Wow.
I do not know Lee Race. Susie, it's not. Is it? Is he? Does he have a YouTube channel? As a thing, I don't know. I've not come across him, mind you. That's not saying much. Oh yeah, Lee Wraith, musical artist, professional musician, and product demonstrator. He's the brand ambassador for Ibanez guitars and Laney amplification. Oh, okay. No, I've not come across him at all. But he does have a YouTube channel. Let's have a look. See what he does. But that's fine. Yeah. See, 35,000 subscribers. I've never heard of him. That says everything about me. But
So, Great Vanzini, when you were streaming your music, were you playing original music, or were you doing covers? I wonder if that is a reason why, because they're pretty quick on jumping down on copyrighted stuff, aren't they? They can do it pretty quickly now.
yeah,
And Facebook will block you.
I think, does it actually block you? Does it? See, it's
Yeah.
weird, that, isn't it? You think that by all means the artist should get the money if you cover their stuff. That's if you happen to be monetized, or I'm all for that. I cannot see the point of blocking your video. Really? Like I'm constantly bewildered by this. As I say, I can't work out why, if you're a band, especially from a long time ago, why the thought of somebody playing a cover version of your song, which you are going to get paid for, not very much, I grant you, but why that is an issue that would mean that you would, and I know that Rick Beato talks about this a lot, is about kind of people like the Eagles and stuff like that. I mean, they just block everything. It's like, I can't. It just weirds me out, because it just doesn't. Seems to me that to keep your music alive, if people are playing it, then that's a good thing. and you're getting paid for it.
Yeah, well, it's just
I
become
don't know, you know,
an easy option for a lot of these record companies. It's probably not so much the artist, to be fair. I don't know the intricate
I
intimate
could see the
details of
point.
it.
Well, I think it goes back to the sort of the Napster days. Those of us who remember Napster, where it basically file sharing thing, peer to peer file sharing, and then obviously the artist didn't get paid. Now that and obviously people like Metallica vociferously against it, and I can understand that because that's taking away an income, and I think musicians should get paid, absolutely. So I'm on side with that, but this is not about musicians not getting paid. This is just about if I knock off a quick version of Hotel California, just playing through it, picking or strumming through it, it's probably not a great version of it, but at least people might go, oh right, yeah, that's a cool song. Maybe I could learn it. Maybe I could, it keeps it alive in some way. Which, and just kind of blocking it and saying no, you can't do that is it. Seems to me a bit cutting off your nose to spite your face, I think is the phrase. But and as I say, if it's all about the money, you do get paid for it. If we stream something or play something on here, the artist would get paid for it.
Yeah. That's why I changed.
If we were monetized, but
that's why I changed the music,
the theme tune,
to the lead intro video, because if eventually the channel ever gets monetized, any videos that we do, Simon, if there's any revenue on any of those shows, won't go to the channel. It goes directly to
the artist.
The record company or whatever that's got a copyright. And I was trying to explain that to one of Carl's friends who was watching the show. Oh, this is a few months ago, and she said something interesting to Carl and I. She said, "Oh, it would be really, really nice if you guys had some musical snips there, and to talk, to play when you're talking about songs." And I said, "Well, yeah, that would be really good, but I wasn't too sure, Simon, how it worked back then. I wasn't up to play. I was more interested in the fact that we were probably going to get strikes, and if you get 3 strikes, you're out. They'll get rid of your channel. But copyright's a little bit different. You can have 50 copyright claims on your channel. You just can't say certain things. You can swear.
But copyright claim, and that's fine. As I say, I'm fine with a copyright claim. By the way, that's if I'm playing Hotel California, by the way, that belongs to the Eagles, and any money would go to them rather than. Well, that's right. I don't have an issue with that myself. As I say, I do have an issue with, as you say, 3 blocks and you're out kind of thing. You think, well, I suppose it promotes creativity. But for shows like
that's
us,
one of the reasons.
Go on.
That's one of the reasons why I got this 4-channel 4-input interface. So that if need be, if we need to play a Bob Dylan song, to explain what was going on that track, that Blood on the Tracks, where he's playing a lot of those songs in open G, and do a comparison between that, say, and Keith Richards. It would be nice to play a couple of snips for 30 seconds, wouldn't it? It'd be really great.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It would be really great, and would, and for us to be talking about, if we talk about lesser known blues, blues guys and stuff like, British blues bands or whatever, not to feel as though we're going to be blocked when we could play an example of somebody, then people might go away and investigate those bands, and I don't feel it myself. I don't see anything negative about that, and I see everything positive about that. We might introduce you to bands you might not have heard of. I'm always keen to be introduced to bands I've never heard of, and right now there are lots of them.
Okay, so while we're talking about that, then I'm going to play Spotify now. I'm going to play because I've tried doing this a couple of times in the past and it hasn't gone through my configuration. So if I just play 30 seconds of a song now, hopefully it's going to come through and I know that I've done it well. So can you guys hold on?
Have we got to guess what it is?
No,
Can you
no,
tell
it's
what it is
okay.
yet?
Yeah. Hold on.
No, it's okay.
Okay,
That's just me last night.
no, I'm
Good
not that
work,
good.
yes. Well done.
But well, that's good to know that we can do that now. So we can play some
Yeah, sounds
some
fine.
some
Sounding
some
absolutely
snips
fine.
if we have
Sounding really
to.
good. Yeah.
So that's fighting. If you guys were interested, that's fighting for Madge off Then Play On. So if you guys haven't checked that album out, please do.
That's interesting. Sonia's saying that YouTube does run a lot of different test trials, and they have actually monetized some channels with a lot less than 1,000 subscribers. Didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
How do we jump on that boat?
I don't know, Sonia. Would you? Yes. Sonia, do you want to come on and explain?
I did get a message from what's our Canadian friend Ben. Ben said maybe I should think about doing a couple of giveaways because when he did a couple of giveaways, his subscriber base, he got 50 to 60 subscribers within a week.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens next year.
See, Mitch says YouTube took a video of his down because he was using a Star Wars theme. They actually took it down, Mitch. Did they actually blocked it? Did they? Is that a? It's amazing, isn't it, Arvin? What the talents of Mr. Walton knows no bounds.
Arvin's on fire again. He's good, eh?
Very good. Yes.
YouTube invitations. So I'm interested. What YouTube email invitations? What is that?
What's something they send out to say, would you like to take part in this trial? Kind of thing. Surprisingly, they haven't invited us yet. It's an outrage. Quick, placards. It's
yeah. I'm going to find that Superman video. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to find Superman. I'm going to play this. We have to. Hold on. Let's find Mitch's. This is fantastic. While we're talking about it. Here we go. We've got him. Where's Superman? Where's Superman? Where's Superman? Just hanging. Right, here we go.
Yep. Mitch, go out and deal with the fires.
Here we go. Here we go. So if I go here, just hold on. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me while I navigate around here. So if I go back to StreamYards, go to share screen, and where is Mitch? We can find Mitch.
Where's Superman Mitch?
There
so,
he
Mitch,
is.
they took down your video. They took down a video. Does that mean you've got a strike against you? If they took it down? Oh, yeah, I agree. Deja vu. It's not. There he comes.
Woohoo!
Love the hair bit. You don't want the wig to fly off, do you? Up in the stratosphere.
He fell off.
Fell off his broomstick, yes. Wonderful. Let's see. It gives away the secret. So taking it down is not a copyright strike. Okay. I'm getting confused by these things, isn't it? You know what? Because they do have a kind of 3 strikes and you're out thing, don't they? If they.
Thank you, my friend. That's awesome. What a dude. You can fly, man.
Yeah.
Get off my cloud. Hey, you, get off my cloud. Deja Freddy's on fire too.
Two's a crowd. Magnificent. Yes.
Even the swirl, the wind swirl. Mitch, how the hell did you get that?
Swirl. That's fantastic, isn't it? So, God, yeah. Yeah, I'm just interested about if you find a contact doesn't follow our policies for us. So you get a strike. What if you will let you know? Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? The world of YouTube is a world unto itself, isn't it? As a thing, it's amazing. So I don't really understand at what point you get a strike, for violating their thing. Does that mean that playing somebody else's song is a violation?
No. So you'll only get. No, that's a copyright. So, and that's fine. Copyright infringements are.
But if you play Hotel California and then you get blocked, is that a strike?
No. Your video gets blocked, and that's fine. It's not a strike. So you're only going to get. Fine. You're only going to get striked if you talk about political things.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm too scared
in a particular set of ways. In a particular way. Yeah.
You got to be careful what you say, because obviously we don't want to. But yeah. If you talk about things.
Let's not talk about things.
Yeah, things that probably YouTube was really good at up until about 4 or 5 years ago. I'm an advocate, Simon, of free speech. I'm an advocate of it. I think if you've got something to say it. Even if I disagree with it, I still think it's your right. But obviously, I don't own the platforms for people or to speak on. So if you own the platform, you have some control over it. But that's still not going to stop people from having their opinion, are they? Is it?
No, no. I agree. I think that the difficulty you have with that, and I think that's fine as a general stance. I'm with you on that as a general stance. I just think that at some point in that, if those views are, in some way abhorrent, or they some way incite some sort of reaction into people, then I don't think that should be allowed, really. I'm happy if you've got even slightly crazy arguments about stuff, then that's fine. I think you should be allowed, absolutely should be allowed. But I think if you're, incitement to something or other, I think that's over the line. Then,
I like the world. I like the world and my crazy friends in it.
I'm not trying to knock off the the crazy or the eccentric or whatever. I think that's fine, and I think I'm all for aliens built the pyramids kind of thing. That's all good in my books.
The problem with YouTube though is that they're a pack of hypocrites, though, Simon. That's the problem. That's the problem with a lot of these social media giants. They're a pack of hypocrites, and you know, I don't think you have to be on either side. I think you can be on both sides of the political spectrum, or the philosophical schools that are out there, or the religious schools. I think most people will agree that they are a pack of hypocrites. But we'll work within their rules and their regulations so that you and I can do this guitar show. You know, I'm not here to talk about my politics or my religious views, Simon. Yet, you know, I wouldn't use YouTube for that, because you know, clearly that's going to get you into trouble. But
clearly on a guitar show, that's.
But even talking about guitars can get you into trouble too, can't it? You know, because you can say, "I hate Les Paul guitars," and someone's going to put in the comments saying, what are you talking about? Les Paul's a great guitarist. Jimmy Page played one, you dickhead. You know?
Yeah, I find that. Yeah, poor old. I feel sorry for Johnny Bean running his EVH thing. You know, where any mention of Sammy Hagar, it's like light blue touch paper and run. You know, I think it's just that's just a bit nutty, really, for me. That sort of, you like what you like. I'm very happy that you like what you like, and it may not be the same as me, and I'm always happy about that, because our differences make us, who we are, and I don't feel it's anything. See, I was started a fight already. Well done.
You see, that's how it's going to happen. Look. I agree with you. I limit the amount of posts that I watch on that Facebook group, because it's just full of weirdos. It's a weirdo group. It's got 20,000 members, and 19,000 of them are weirdos. And I just and they take great delight in berating each other and insulting each other. And I just can't get my head around a group that's like that. In fact, let me just tell you something else that's really interesting. One of my friends on the Peter Green Facebook group that we've got, he's one of the moderators. He's an American. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he had on his banner, on his Facebook banner, he had a picture of Joe Biden wearing a Make America great
hat. Yeah.
And he put some posts of Peter Green, and one of the members said, "Oh, I don't think you should be posting anything like this on this group because you're a Trump supporter," And the moderator said, "No, I'm not. I'm a Joe Biden supporter."
That's the whole bloody point. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And anyway, I thought I'd let it go for a little while, but I knew I was quite, I was a bit concerned. And then they started toing and froing, and then people. It didn't take long. It took 5 minutes, and people saying, "You're a Trump," this, and the post went. But it's just interesting. It's just interesting how somebody went and had a look at someone's profile, and there's a picture of Joe Biden. Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't see the willful misinterpretation. That's clearly not, is it? It's like, how can you just willfully misinterpret that as an image, as a post? I mean, feel free to disagree. That's all right. That's what democracy is. But, to sort of scythe into somebody completely erroneously, I think it's very strange, that, isn't it? What the keyboard warriors, the fact that
Well, getting back to the Van Halen group, I love David Lee Roth. I love Sammy Hagar. And I just find it bizarre that I can understand now we got to work it out, Simon. So these guys that have been listening to the first version of Van Halen are probably about 60 years old now, so they're a little bit set in their ways. They're a little bit.
Can you be careful with the 60-year-old? Thanks ever so much.
Yeah, but you know, the amount of, what's the word, vitriol that they give to anyone that posts anything, any kind comment or any post about Sammy Hagar, it's just like a red flag to a bull, and it's just wow.
Sonia's going projections on the wall outside for her candidate. She's going the whole media hog. Well done, Sonia.
Oh,
that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah, she's going to put up signs as the election goes and have projections on my walls outside for my candidate.
you see, I don't have a problem with that, because
that's fine.
That flies in the face of the apathetic people out there. You know, the people who have
Sonia's
opinions.
Supporting, Sonia's voting.
That's right. People who have opinions, but when
it
comes down to it, probably don't vote. Probably, you know, have what. But at least if you're voting for a candidate that I don't agree with, I'm going to say, well, you know, you've participated in the democratic process. Isn't that what's important?
No argument about that. Absolutely, yeah, it is what's important, and engagement like Sonia's is the most important thing. Sonia is engaged. Yeah. She's got a view, and she's gonna pin her colours to the mast and carry on. See,
just
which
I
think is brilliant.
Take a photo of it and message me the photo so I know the candidate that you're supporting.
So we can be careful.
I'm curious.
Steady now. Can you not say it like that?
We'll still be friends. I promise.
Yeah. Oh well, yes, yeah. Because you've got to have people from other political persuasions besides you. It's funny, isn't it? My next door neighbour, Steve, died 3 years ago. But he was like larger than life, ex-naval commander, fantastic guy. He and I were poles apart on the political spectrum. But the brilliant thing about Bridges was you could always have an argument with him, and he never took offence. You could have a good old-fashioned, ding-dong around the table about whatever was going on. He never cared in the slightest. In fact, he liked it. He liked a good argument, Steve. And he and I used to, I met somebody. Oh, my wife met somebody recently, and she said, she was explaining where we lived, and the woman said, yes, we didn't get on with Steve. We didn't have the same political views as him. And it's like, you let that get in the way. I didn't let that get in the way of anything, He was a fantastic guy, and the fact he had different political persuasion than me, it was fine. We have a good argument about it.
Oh, yeah.
So, he was fantastic. But
and we have those same situations here in New Zealand. We've got our elections coming up soon in 4 weeks' time, and one of the great things about doing business and having family friends is that politics comes up, and you have a conversation with people, and it's interesting. But one thing I've learnt over the last 20 or 30 years is I never assume. I've learnt that I never assume, especially when I'm at work, because politics at work just doesn't work for business. So I don't offer a political opinion until obviously someone else does, and I get it pretty clear where they stand before I put my opinion in. And for the sake of business, I've got to tell you, I've not continued a political discussion because it's probably not good.
It's not going to go well. Yes, might as well stop now. Yeah, I agree. I think work is difficult, isn't it? Where that line is and where you want to. I tend not to broadcast my political views at work, kind of thing. And I work in government, so it's
But the big one, though, is,
I don't mind about that, but,
the big one, though, is the American presidential campaign. That's the big one. That's the big one, boys.
I think we should have them on,
girls.
Don't you? I think we should have the candidates on, and we'll judge them by their musical tastes and whether they can play the guitar or not. What do you think? I think we should send them invitations. Dear Mr. I'm just typing out, dear Mr. Biden, would you like to? We're not from the US, but.
So what, I used to think Civil War interpretations got intense. Then Johnny Bean's Facebook around the bell. Yeah.
Yes.
So were you a member of that group, Deja Voodoo? That Van Halen from 78 to 84. Are you a member of that group? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a group full of weirdos. That group.
Sonia, that's fine. You don't have to say anything about who you're voting for or anything. The fact that you are is actually the key thing. You are voting. You are engaged with the democratic process. Yeah. That's all anyone could ask. So,
that's right. And anybody that puts anything outside their house supporting a candidate means that they are participating in that process. And you know, I give people grief when they say to me that they didn't vote at the last election. That's one thing that I will turn around and say, well, you're a dickhead, you know.
You don't have compulsory voting in New Zealand?
No.
Like they do in Australia?
Aussie, they do. Yeah, you get fined if you don't vote.
You get fined if you don't vote. Yeah. I'm not sure about the fine, but I am kind of for that in a way, you know. You have a democratic right to go out and vote. Bloody well go out and vote, you know.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who who you're voting for, you know, for me is not the issue at all. And we have the same thing. We have great swathes of the population just don't vote. You get in on government here with, you get 40% of the vote, you get in. Well, clearly 40% is a minority. And the other parties could easily outstrip you. And that's of the people who voted, not.
Okay, we have a weird system here. We've got MMP here, so.
Have you got? You've got to proportional representation. Have you some?
Well, no. Well, it's a weird system. So you could win the majority of the popular vote. Yeah. The second party, which will come in, if that forms a government with one of the minor parties, they can form the government. So even you participating in a political party that wins the most vote, you can, and that's what happened here in New Zealand the last election. National Party got 54% of the vote. The Labour Party got 26% of the vote, offered Winston Peters, who was the leader of a centrist party called New Zealand First, the deputy prime ministership. So he jumped on board because he got 5% of the vote. So he had 8 MPs, and we have a coalition government of New Zealand First and Labour that didn't get 54% of the vote. So what I'm saying, and I'm just a simple guy, I thought democracy was about who wins the most pieces of cake gets to eat it.
Obviously not. Well, yeah, it's very difficult, isn't it? I mean, we had a go at voting for proportional representation probably 10 years ago or something, to try and equalise up a bit.
Yep.
The problem was the Kubrick lovers voting for me over you. Ha ha! 1-0. 2-1 actually. We'll vote for ourselves. But but they asked the question in such an appalling way. And it was such an appalling way of doing it. That in all conscience, I don't think many people voted for it because it was just a rubbish system they put forward.
Well,
which is sad, really.
Well, they conned the New Zealand voters about 25 years ago when they put it forward, because most New Zealanders at the time, Simon, said that they didn't have a problem with small minor parties making up Parliament. The voices of the smaller parties, if you got over 5% of the vote, you had so many seats in Parliament, which was a good thing. But then what had happened over the past 15, 20 years, Simon, is that the smaller parties actually hold the balance of power. And that's what a lot of mainstream Kiwis are finding a little bit difficult, saying, well, here's a party that got 6% of the vote is determining who's the government. How does that work, Simon? No one's saying that this party shouldn't be in Parliament. I'm an advocate for the smaller parties, the minor parties, because I like that. But having the balance of power, ooh, that's a bit dangerous.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Well, I mean, we should have had that a bit with the last government, where the Northern Ireland Party, DUP, held sway a bit,
Yes.
and and stuff, and it's very difficult.
And you got those Scots. You got the Scots going on again too, saying that they're going to have another referendum. I'm going, didn't you guys have that 5 or 6 years ago? And it was a unanimous get nicked. We're going to stay part of the UK.
Okay. Yeah.
And
well, they're keen, all right. I mean, obviously the Scottish nationalists.
Well, who's keen?
The Scottish nationalists are keen, and I think that they are. They are looking for two things. They're looking for, they're using the EU exit vote to, to force that, because they want to, for their economy and everything. It is enormously beneficial that they stay inside the EU.
But 90% of Scots people voted to stay in the union.
Yeah, they voted to stay. Yeah, and but they're joining the two things together. You see, if you voted to stay in the European Union,
and the British Union.
I don't know. No, it wasn't 50. It wasn't 90%.
It was a huge chunk.
It was. But anyway, the point is that this thing about you're then joining independence. You're saying that we want to stay inside the European Union, and therefore, if you want to stay inside the European Union, we'll have another independence vote. If you vote for independence, we'll stay inside the European Union.
Oh wow!
So no. See, that's brilliant.
Wow.
You see, there we are. And what do you do with that? As a, I want to be inside the European Union. I also want to be part of the United Kingdom.
What state are you in, Deja Voodoo, in Australia? Because I remember about 20 years ago, you had the Quebec people in Canada. They were voting for separation, weren't they, to form a separate independent nation. So I'll be interested to see where Deja Voodoo is from, because he should start up a separate state from Australia. See how that goes. Build some momentum. Might work. Be a political party leader. New South Wales splits from Australia, forms its own independent government.
New South Wales or New Scotland. Well, yeah, New South Wales is just New Wales. Yeah.
Victoria changes its name to Elizabeth or something. Markle changes its name to Meghan Markle. Victoria.
Meghan, just Meghan. You just call
Meghan.
Meghan.
Yeah.
Where do you live, Meghan?
Meghan.
Yeah, never mind New South Wales. We're changing our name to Meghan. It's more current. Yeah, Meghan, like boat face, isn't it? Do you remember that? Yeah, they wanted that Arctic ship at one day, so they put it out to the public vote. And what they got was Boaty McBoatface. It's one of my favourite things. Go and ask the British public.
He's a South Australian. He's a South Australian. Okay.
Minority Party, capital of Australia. We're the first free established state, by the way. Okay,
I went on a course about 8 years ago with 50 Australians, and they were from various parts of Australia, and a couple of the young guys were from Tasmania. And I was interested, I was sitting down with these guys, and all these Australians were giving these poor Tasmanians shit, saying, have you guys got street lights? And these poor young guys.
Have you heard of the car? It's a new invention.
And we were crossing the road, and a couple of these Victorians turned around and said, "See, this is tar seal. You know, they have these here in New Zealand. You know, do you guys have it? Do you have tar seal in Tasmania?" They were giving. Yeah, I've got to say that these young guys took it though, and it made me laugh though, because obviously, I was an outsider with 50. Well, there's a couple of Kiwis here, but with 50 Australians, it was just chaos, mayhem, and I just couldn't stop laughing. My gosh.
Taking the razz out of the Tasmanians. See, now, just going to go back, and I need to ask a question about something, because I saw, where was it? Somebody mentioned somebody. Deja vu. I love that. Deja vu. I equate avoiding claims to be like outrunning Agent Smith in The Matrix. That's wonderful.
Canada needs a foothold somewhere warm. Okay, well, you guys can come down here and claim New Zealand.
Who is Pat Paulson? Paulson.
Wouldn't have a clue.
I have no idea who Pat Paulson is. Is it Mitch Hamilton? I voted for Paulson. So I don't know who that is.
State rivalry's pretty funny down. Yeah. Well, I'm a State of Origin fan. I support Queensland with the State of Origin. And I know that the New South Welshmen and the Queenslanders are at each other's throats. But it's all good fun. It's not like you English guys, when you get a Spurs man and an Arsenal man, they've got 50 cops separating them at the football match because they might just end up.
Let's not do. Let's football. I don't know what it is. Football in this country. I went to see a band once in a pub in Bristol, right? And they made the massive. There were two football teams in Bristol, one Bristol City and Bristol Rovers, and that's typical. And they mentioned some stuff about football, and then about 10 minutes later, there was a pitched battle in the pub. It was like we're running out the back. Like, God, rule one of bands: do not mention football in the UK. Don't go anywhere near the football thing, because 10 minutes later you'll have a massive punch up in there. It was like a proper sort of riot in this pub, because they'd introduced football into it.
The Beatles are smart enough not to talk about who they support.
Liverpool or Everton. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
They were smart enough. I had a couple of friends who went to Holland a few years ago, and they're Ajax supporters, Simon, and they had their Ajax scarves on, and they walked into a pub after a game, and the barman served them. They gave them their beer, and then they came back for their second one, and the barman said, "Look, we know you guys are foreigners, and thank you very much. But see those guys over there?" And they turned around and they said, yeah. They said, well, they're Feyenoord supporters, and this is a Feyenoord bar, and you're wearing Ajax stuff, and we know that you're tourists, and you're only allowed one drink. So it's a good opportunity for you now to go and find another bar somewhere else. That's a
wonderful piece of Dutch pragmatism, that is. Only in Holland would that happen.
Well, I said to my friends, I said, what would have happened if it was a Dutchman? They said, well, Dutch obviously wouldn't do that, but if a Dutchman did that, he wouldn't get a drink. It was game day, but after the game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy weird stuff, Although I would say Liverpool and Everton tend to be the exception. I think there's not the same kind of violent rivalry that there is with so many other footballing, supporters and things. Manchester City, Manchester United, whatever. There's not the same. They, because obviously families. You quite often get families in Liverpool where half the family supports Everton, half the Liverpool. When they've had cup finals where they haven't separated the supporters, kind of thing. That's it. And mix, which is not normally what happens. So they're an exception. Let me see. Is it Pat Paulson's a US comedian from years ago? He made a comedy run for president in 1968. No wonder I don't know who he is. I'll look him up, see who he is.
Well, we've spoken about nothing, but we've spoken about lots tonight. Nothing but lots.
No, we've got a new person, James Abram Music. Welcome, James. He spotted the name Clapton, had to stop and see what this channel is about. Well, this week it's about not very much, but next week we'll be back on track talking about British blues and blues artists and things, because that's what we do here. Which
cheers,
obviously
James.
Clapton is a central pillar of that. So we do.
Where are you from, James?
Clapton. Yeah, where are you from?
Tell us where you're from. But we do a weekly show. I'm in New Zealand. Simon's in the UK, and we're just about winding up. We normally go for about an hour and a half. So if you want to sub to the channel and jump on board, and we're always on the lookout for anybody that wants to join us live and join us talking about British blues. So keep that up your sleeve if you want. Huge Clapton fan from Wales.
Look,
awesome.
See, he's from Wales. I'm just south of Bristol, James. So I'm just across the channel from you. Well, depending on where you are in Wales, but yeah. So cool. Whereabouts in Wales are you from? That's really good.
Good to have another Clapton fan here.
Sonia, I do not use in-ear monitors when I'm gigging.
Bridgend. Oh, okay.
Bridgend. Oh, that's right. Yeah, South Wales. Yeah. Cool. So not that far from me. Welcome, James. Thanks for Beano and beyond. That's right. Great Manzini. Sonia wants to know: do we use in-ear monitors when gigging? I don't. No. We put all our gear, our PA, behind us. In fact, the PA that we use actually are our monitors. So I don't use in-ear monitors. So in effect, we have a wall, the two guitar amps. Because there's only two of us, and we're using sort of backing stuff. So me and Dave put our amps together, put the PA next to the amps, so that what we hear is the mix of everything going forward. So we don't need them, and oddly, we don't have any feedback issues, which is
awesome,
cool, which is good.
Yeah. Well, James, if you want to, thank you for subbing to the channel. I'll after the show, I'll sub back. Anybody that subs to our channel, we sub back. We always appreciating people that support us. But if you want to join us next week, we're normally on about an hour and a half earlier than what the time is now. So what's the time in the UK now?
We're normally on about 6:30 a.m. in the UK, James. So I'm getting up at 6:30 to do this, which is so. James wants to know: are you familiar with EC's Crash Strat?
I've got a book that's got. It's a celebration of Clapton's guitars, but that's the guitar that he was playing in the early 2000s with the mural. Probably is the best way I can describe it. But he hasn't played that for a long time. He's gone back to just playing his Peter Gray. I suppose have you got a Crash Strat? Have you?
Nice. Hold on, I'm just gonna. Oh.
Yeah, I think he was playing that on One More Car, One More Rider.
What we're talking about for those in the chat, that's
it. Yeah, that's the Crash Strat.
Yeah.
But he sold that recently too to help make some funds for his Crossroads Rehabilitation Centre.
Hopefully you can if I turn this way, get reflection that way. Oh, he has.
All right.
Yeah,
okay,
cool.
So what I want you to do, James, is I want you to keep in touch with Simon and I. If you want to jump on, if you've done any live streaming before, if you haven't, don't worry about it. We'll guide you through it. But we'd love to get you on so that you can show us and talk to us about your Crash Strat. See that Strat there that I've got there. That there is an '89 Pewter Grey Clapton Strat that I've had for 20 odd years. Going back to Deja Voodoo, you're right, Deja Voodoo. I've asked Ramon, has he uncovered it? He's not saying anything. He's just going, maybe. But I think Ramon's uncovered Clapton's Beano Les Paul, Simon.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not in America. It's in the UK.
Oh. Was it stolen? Or
Apparently.
was it just yeah.
Yeah, it was stolen during a Cream
Yeah.
gig.
That's right, yeah.
They've got an 89 as well. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
guys.
so, yeah.
We've been going for an hour and 45. But yeah, James and anybody else, any of our good friends in the chat that join us regularly, I'm going to keep plugging. You guys have every opportunity to join Simon and I and hang out and tell us your story. You're more than welcome. Appreciate your comments in the chat. You guys are awesome. And, just keep that in mind. You can join us at any time.
Yeah. I'm just having a look at your stuff. James looks interesting. Yeah. He's done some I Shot the Sheriff cover and various other things. Yeah, he's got a lot of videos up. So
Awesome.
yeah. So yeah. By all means, come on and tell us about your. Yes, I saw that Deja Vu, that Bonamassa story about the stolen Les Paul, the one from Jefferson Starship. Yeah. Well, yes. Thanks everyone for joining. It's been a bit relaxed kind of talk this week rather than our normal focus stuff. So, but yeah, stay safe everyone out there in the big wide world. Thanks to Mitch and Kubrick Lover and James Abram Musics and Deja Voodoo and Sonia. Who else do we have? Yeah, good crowd in tonight. Great Vanzini, of course. Arvin. I hope I've got everybody. Oh, and Susie Cherry as well. Thanks, Susie, for joining. It's very nice to see you. And I think that's probably everybody. Hopefully, got everybody. Kubrick Lover. And yeah. So yes, and remember the invitation to come on is always there. Contact Andrew and thanks. Yeah. And we'll see you next week when I might be talking about my next British blues album.
What I'll do is I'll just put my email.
Andrew will do his
in the chat if anybody wants to cut and paste that and just flick me an email. So just hold on. I'll do that before we sign off.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Make a note of it.
Do we get that right?
Great, Vanzini. Hopefully I'll see you later if you go live later. I might be cooking like I normally am. But, yep, same bat time, same bat day. Batter day.
So that's my email there, guys. If you want to grab that and flick me an email, or on Facebook, it's just Andrew Walton with that background. With that background as the profile pic.
The British Blues Show. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Stay safe, everybody. Thank you for joining Simon and I. As usual, if you do think that anything we say here on the show or anything that's been said in the chat is of interest, please share us. We would love to get 1,000 subscribers to help pay the bills. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and we'll see you next week. Fantastic. Yeah, Sonia. Yeah, do message Andrew next week and you can come on. That'd be great.
Okay.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.